Hello students, in this video we are going to discuss or we are going to solve the exercise of lesson number 2, that is weathering and mass wasting for 11th standard students of science as well as arts. Okay, so let us start with the first question, that is complete the following chain. अभी यहाँ पे आपको 3 कॉलम्स दिए हैं, दैट इज रॉक टाइप, नेम ऑफ द रॉक एंड डोमिनेंट टाइप ऑफ वेदरिंग. ठीक है, अभी डोमिनेंट टाइप ऑफ वेदरिंग में आपको 2 ही ऑप्शंस दिए, लाइक फिजिकल एंड केमिकल. ठीक है, यू जस्ट हैव टू सी वेदर दीज रॉक्स, ये जो रॉक्स यहाँ पे प्रेजेंट है, लाइक बेसाल्ट, ग्रेनाइट, डोलोमाइट, लाइमस्टोन, स्लेट. तो ये जो रॉक्स है, सो दीज रॉक्स दे बिलोंग टू इग्नेशियस, दे बिलोंग टू सेडिमेंट्री और मेटामॉर्फिक. ठीक है, so this is the complete solved examples, like you can see over here that igneous rocks, so basalt and granite are igneous rock, and इनके ऊपर जो होता है that is physical type of weathering happens. Next is sedimentary rock, so dolomite or limestone, these are the sedimentary rock, even these rocks undergo the physical type of weathering. And finally we have a metamorphic rock, तो ये जो slate है, so which belongs to metamorphic rock, and it undergoes a chemical type of weathering. So this is the correct answers for your first question, that is complete the following chain. Abhi let us move further with question number 2, that is identify the correct correlation. अभी इस तरीके के क्वेश्चंस में आपको ऑप्शंस दिए जाते हैं 4, दैट इज assertion एंड रीजनिंग. अभी assertion में एक स्टेटमेंट दिया जाता है और रीजनिंग में यू जस्ट हैव टू टेल कि ये जो आर में जो स्टेटमेंट है, दिस इज एक्सप्लेनिंग ए और नॉट. ओके, now assertion, in the areas of high rainfall these slides are very common. Yes, we all agree, जहाँ पे बहुत rainfall होता है वहाँ पे landslides are very common, it gets easily हो जाते हैं. So this statement is a true statement. अभी यहाँ पे देखो, types of mass wasting movements are dependent on the regional climate. Yes, अभी अगर climate कैसा है उसी के ऊपर the things are going to depend. So this is a totally true statement. Okay, so the answer, the final answer here will be that both the statements are true. So both A and R are correct, and R is the exact explanation of A. So this is the first answer. Now let us move further for the second question. So यहाँ पे you can see that we have A as an assertion. So assertion, in the case it is given that gravity is a major factor in the case of mass wasting. Yes, so this is a true statement because gravity plays an important role, because whatever is thrown up, it comes down easily. Second है reasoning, gravity pulls all the things down towards the earth. So this is an exact definition of gravity. So even this statement is totally correct. So here the answer will be both A and R is correct, and R is an exact explanation of A. That is option 3. Let us move further. Question number 3, that is A, that is assertion, freeze and thaw weathering is common in desert areas. So this is exactly true, because in the desert area we can see diurnal type of temperature, matlab in a day it is very hot, and at night you can see the temperature gets down and it gets cooling down. So basically desert area mein freeze and thaw weathering you can see. Reasoning is what? Water gets into the cracks and breaks the rock. Yes, the freeze and thaw weathering is a type of weathering where the water, it goes inside the crack of the rock, and it freezes and it cools down, it freezes and it's cooled down, and because of that there is a widening of crack, and hence a weathering takes place. So this answer is totally correct. So option 3, both A and R are the correct, and R is an exact explanation of A. So it's totally correct. Let us move to the last MCQ. A assertion is surface water helps solifluction. Okay, so this statement is true. Solifluction cannot happen without water. So whatever water is present on the surface, that only can lead to the solifluction. And next reasoning is what? Water table is responsible for the same. Abhi water table is what? It is an underground water. Okay, it is underground water resources. It is not a surface water resource. So because of that, the second statement is wrong. Okay, so here the answer which is the correct answer is option number A. That is, only A is correct answer. Let us move further to the exercise number 3. Identify the correct group. Here we have 4 groups like A, B, and C and D. Okay, so all the groups have a common thing. Now, if you see the things here, in the case of first, oxidation, carbonation, freeze, thaw, weathering, and shattering. So these are all the weatherings which you can see. These are all the physical These are all the physical as well as chemical weatherings you can see, which are in the combination. Next is solution, salt weathering, oxidation, carbonation. Abhi oxidation is a weathering which can occur because of oxygen, carbonation because of carbon dioxide, salt weathering heat ke wajah se, and solution is because of what? The water. Okay, so it is having a combination of all. Next we have fall, creep, slide and flow. So these are all the landslides. Okay. So the right identifying correct group answer will be the answer number 1, that is oxidation, carbonation, freeze, thaw weathering, shattering. So these are all the weatherings which are coming under your the chemical, physical, all the properties. Okay. Let us move further for question number 4. Give reasons. First question is temperature is the main factor behind granule weathering. So we all know what is granule weathering. Basically, in the hot desert, wherever the temperature is very high, okay, it is a diurnal type of temperature where it is low and where it is high. Okay, so such temperature it increases the temperature of the rock and the rock gets heated. Okay, so when the rock gets heated, the minerals in the rock they start expanding. Okay, the whole rock never expands. The minerals present inside the rock they start expanding. So because of what happens, there is a stress which is created inside the rock, and these stress is later on released in the form of disintegration of rocks. Okay, so there is continuous expansion and compression due to diurnal range of temperature. So these rocks they fall into small granules or grains, and these grains are called as granule. Okay. Next is human is an agent of weathering. Now we all know that even a human does some type of activities which may lead to weathering. Abhi which activities? These are the activities like mining, like blasting of hills, building of roads, construction of dams, okay, industrialization, all these things, deforestation, all these things are increasing the amount of weathering day by day. Okay, so as because of this, it is also called as anthropogenic type of weathering. The activity is done by human, and because of which it results into a weathering is called as anthropogenic type of weathering. So it is also considered as a biological agent, okay, which affects the weathering. So since many years now, human is considered as the most powerful weathering agent. Okay. Now let us move further for question number 3. Slope is a major factor in mass wasting. Now we all know that there is a slope, and without a slope mass wasting cannot occur. Okay, you require a slope. Now, the slopes are made up of clay and shale. The shape of the composition of individual clay particles can absorb the water. Now, when these waters are absorbed because of clay, they are prevented to percolate inside the ground. Okay, the clay does not allow the water to percolate inside the ground. So because of that, what happens? A layer of clay on a slope can prevent water from filtering through the slope, and the water stays near the surface and it gets saturated in on the ground layer. Okay, so because of that, what happens? It loses the friction कम हो जाता है, and the water and the mass wasting can occur very easily because of the smooth surface. Now let us move further. Oxidation changes the size and color of the rock. Now we all know whenever we keep iron, we expose it to water, we expose it to the atmosphere, the iron starts reacting with the atmospheric conditions. Okay, so these oxygen in the air and the water, they starts releasing the oxides. Okay, तो ये जो iron oxides होते हैं, they start changing the color. Okay, even the size of the metal starts expanding because of the layer which comes on that particular metal. So iron oxide के जो colors होते हैं, it gets into a reddish type of colors. Now compared to the original rock, you can see these oxides are less hard. Okay, they can easily get broken down into small particles. ठीक है, और इनका जो वॉल्यूम होता है वो बहुत लार्ज होता है. ओके, अ लेयर कम्स ऑन दैट पर्टिकुलर आयन सरफेस. So because of that, oxidation changes the size and color of the rock. If you see an aluminium oxide, even aluminium oxides are generated when they are exposed to outside environment. So the after oxidation, the color gets converted into yellow color, and the iron's color gets converted into the reddish rust color. Okay, let us move further with question number 5, that is effects of mass wasting. Mass movement will be greater along the western slope of Sahyadri than the eastern slopes of Sahyadri. Okay. Now, the southwest winds from the Arabian Sea are obstructed by the western slopes of Sahyadri. Okay. Therefore, the average of 325 centimeter rainfall is experienced in Ratnagiri district, where Pune district, which is at the east of the Sahyadri, receives only 70 centimeters of annual rainfall, as the region comes under the rain shadow zone. So these heavy rains causes more weathering on the western slopes, and they cause less weathering on the eastern slopes. So because of that, we can conclude that the effect of mass wasting is higher on the western slope as compared to the eastern slopes. Okay. Now, the next part of this exercise, like a short note and draw a neat label diagram along with answer in detail, we'll be discussing in the next video. Thank you for watching. Do subscribe the channel.